Hello and welcome to my review of Ben Affleck's new Boston set crime thriller, The Town, starring himself and Jeremy Renner. Man, this movie really came out of nowhere. At the beginning of the year, I had no idea this movie was even being made. But as soon as I saw the trailer in front of Inception, I knew this was going to be something special. This is one of those rare movies that as soon as you see the trailer, you know you're going to love it. And thankfully, the movie didn't disappoint. The movie is a Boston set crime film that centers on a group of heist people, or bank robbers, I'm stupid sometimes, played by Ben Affleck, Jeremy Renner, and two random guys that I don't know. They rob this bank, and the bank manager, who's a woman, they have her break into the bank and they take her hostage. However, they realize that even though she didn't see their faces, because she lives so close to their safe house, she may be the only one that can link them to the FBI. So Ben Affleck decides to try and have a relationship with her. It's just a friend relationship at first to try and calm her post-traumatic stress down. But later they realize they're kind of gaga for each other. Let me just say right off the bat that I absolutely love this film. This is easily in the top 3 movies I've seen this year so far. First off, let me say my favorite thing about this film, which is the setting. The movie is called The Town for a reason. The movie, brilliantly captures the essence of Boston. By the end, the city really feels like a character in the film, and everything is just dripping with Boston atmosphere. Whether it be the accents, or the locations, or just everything, you feel like you really know Boston almost by the end of it. This movie just feels very genuine all the way through. Nothing feels overblown or stylized for Hollywood. The entire cast of this film is excellent. Ben Affleck gives his best performance in years. Rebecca Hall is very good as his romantic interest. Jeremy Renner gives a great supporting performance, and as does John Hamm, who I've never seen before, but I hear he's on the show Mad Men that's really popular now. And every actor in this film is just fantastic. And again, the key to this performances is how genuine they feel. None of them feel like they're just acting or doing a performance for a movie. It really feels like they're full-blown, born and raised Boston citizens. And you really believe that these people could descend into a life of crime. This movie does an excellent job of capturing how, in this city, it's almost inevitable that you become a criminal. It's like a trap. Even if you become a success in some way, you always trickle back into that life of crime. All of these characters are trapped in one desperate reality. Also, one more quick point. The bank robbery and action scenes in this movie are really great. There's a cool car chase in here. There's a great shootout. The action is a little few and far between, but that's fine because the rest of the movie is very engrossing. But what action is in there, there's about 3 big action sequences in the movie. They're nice and long each time, and they feel like, again, they feel realistic. They don't feel like they're these huge car chases where crap's blowing up everywhere. They just feel like actual inner-city shootouts and car chases. This movie is directed masterfully by Ben Affleck. You really feel like the main reason this movie is so great is because he's from Boston, and you see all his feelings just oozing onto the screen. If I had to have one little problem with this movie, it gets a little bogged down in the romance. I would have maybe liked to see a little more of the city and its inner workings and the people and the culture, more so than the romance, which felt kind of forced, and at times it kind of felt a little ridiculous. But it was good character development. There's some great scenes of dialogue in here, and that's all I really ask for. It's not a big deal, but if I were directing it, I would definitely have more Boston cultural type things. But overall, that's very little to distract from what is easily one of the best movies of the year. I'm going to go ahead and give this movie 3.5 stars out of 4. It just barely misses the 4-star mark, only because of a tiny little pacing issue. But you know what? This will be on my top 10 of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of days I actually do switch this to a 4. For now, it's a very high 3.5, verging on a 4, but I just can't quite go there. But I highly recommend you see this film. This is, as I said, this is definitely one of the best movies of the year. Yep. But there's still one other wild card movie this week. Devil. You know why I wouldn't want to be trapped in an elevator with M. Night Shyamalan? Because he'd be a real twisted guy.